Hey guys, so I did a quick review of Space Jam 2: A New Legacy, but I didn't go into full detail on why I enjoyed it. So, today I thought I might go over the reasons why I enjoyed it when a lot of people didn't. So, number one is, it is a complete sellout, but it embraced it, it has fun with it. One thing that Space Jam: A New Legacy does over other movies in the 2010s is it has fun with its campiness and the fact that it's a Warner Brothers commercial. A lot of people have issue with this being product placement, but the world that it takes place in is really cool to look at. They go to a bunch of places like Toon World, DC World, and Harry Potter World. Like, it's just cool to see all of those worlds in one movie. Now, if it were not honest about it being a sellout, then I probably wouldn't like it, but it's very bonkers. Like, it goes all out on the Warner Brothers references, and just everything just pops out at you. And, it takes you by surprise with the amount of cameos that it has. I mean, we all knew from the trailers that there were going to be a lot of cameos, like the Iron Giant, King Kong, a lot of the cameos you saw in Ready Player One. But there are way more cameos than I thought. Rick and Morty appear in this movie. I was blown away. The amount of cameos and amount of Warner Brothers references and Easter eggs in this movie is just staggering. It's really cool to see, and it's definitely a really great theater experience. Another reason why I like this is it kind of goes into the Looney Tunes. Like, we all know that the Looney Tunes haven't been popular like they were back in their prime, and after Looney Tunes Back in Action came out, they kind of drifted off the map, and they weren't the cartoon icons that they used to be. Now, like Mickey Mouse or SpongeBob. But I really like that it, addresses that, and it uses that to progress the story. I mean, it doesn't focus on it too much, and I wish it focused on it more, but I'm really glad that it addressed it. It's kind of like the Muppets, where they have to get all of the Looney Tunes back after they split for so many years. Like the Muppets weren't relevant anymore. They weren't as popular as they were, like back in their prime. And the story of the decline of these franchises is very similar. After Muppets from Space came out and was a financial flop, the Muppets drifted into obscurity until 2011 with the Muppets. And I'm a big fan of the Looney Tunes, and just the fact that they are bringing the Looney Tunes back is just really awesome. Another reason is 2D animation. The 2D animation in this movie is awesome. I am really happy to see a 2D animated film in theaters again. It's not completely 2D, but I've missed seeing 2D animation in theaters ever since the decline of the Disney movies of the 2000s, like flops like Treasure Planet and Atlantis, and flops with DreamWorks like Sinbad and Spirit and El Dorado. It's really, really amazing to see that art style of animation back in theaters. It was a breath of fresh air, and it harkened back to the old days of animation. I'm really glad to see this art style back in theaters. It's been so long. I think that this movie was worth existing just for that. The biggest thing that I really like about this movie is its message. So throughout the movie, LeBron is trying to force his son to do what he wants, but in the end, he learns to let his son do him. That's a great message. It's a message that a lot of people really need to hear. In life, you should do you. You shouldn't worry about what other people are telling you to do. You should be yourself. If somebody doesn't like who you are, then that's on them. Be who you are. Be who you want to be. Go after your own goals in life. If you want to be a video game developer, but your dad wants you to be a basketball player, then be a video game developer. because that's what you want. That's where your passion is. If you want to be a movie writer or movie star, but your parent wants you, or your friends want you to be a scientist, then be a movie star or a movie writer, because that's what you want. You should go after your own goals, your own careers, your own passion. And that's what I really like about this movie. It gave me strength to go after my own passion when people around me said no, give up. I want to inspire you guys. Don't give up on your passion. Don't give up on your dream. Because one day, you will get to where you can fulfill your passion. Your dreams will come to pass. You just need to work at it, keep going after it, and eventually, you will get there. Now, is Space Jam: A New Legacy a perfect film? No. There are a lot of flaws with it. It's not a perfect movie, but I would not say it's a bad movie. It's definitely a sellout, but it embraces it. It gives us a unique movie experience, something we kind of got in the 2000s, but the 2010s, they haven't really given us that kind of campiness or, that kind of all-out bonkersness. A lot of movies in the 2010s have been very dull, very, strung down, if you know what I mean. But this one is bonkers. It's all over the place. It goes all out with the Warner Brothers media, and I'm really glad it did. So, as for flaws, because I do have some flaws with this film, I felt like Lola Bunny was not that important of a character. Like, she wasn't really that important to the plot. Like, when this movie showed its posters, Lola Bunny was one of the things that people were talking about. They changed her design. I'm not going to get into that. But she was like one of the characters that people were talking about, and one of the characters that people really wanted to see come back. In this film, she's got this subplot where she wants to be an Amazon warrior, and as soon as she becomes an Amazon warrior, she goes right back to the Looney Tunes. You'd think that she'd want to stay with the Amazon, considering that, they left the Toon World to go after their own dreams. But Lola Bunny doesn't really get that much development. And she and Bugs didn't really interact that much. The first film implied that they were going to have a relationship at the end. But outside of the point where Bugs, spoiler alert, where Bugs sacrificed himself in this film to win the basketball game, and Lola immediately goes to comfort Bugs as he's dying, there isn't a lot of interaction with her and Bugs. She just kind of goes along for the ride. And also, I really felt like Daffy was pointless. Daffy didn't get that much to do in this film. He had only like a few lines. And he's one of the most important characters of Looney Tunes. Daffy just didn't feel important to the plot. He just kind of felt like he was there. He felt like he was given less to do than Lola. A lot of the Toon characters were kind of just pointless, aside from a few tunes. Also, another thing, outside of like the Monstars cameo, there isn't that much connection to the first film. Like, it feels more like a remake rather than a sequel, because this is basically like the first one, but they decided to change some things. Like, instead of the Looney Tunes being in desperation, it's LeBron now. Outside of the Monstars cameo, there isn't that much connection to the first film. So then the question becomes, why is this even a sequel? I mean, do you think that they would like reference some events from the first film? But overall, guys, Space Jam: A New Legacy is not a great film, but it's an enjoyable film. I'm really glad that there are some people like me that really enjoyed the film. And I'm really glad that, not every movie that gets trashed by critics is completely unlikable. That there are some people that actually do find enjoyment in these films that get panned by critics. So, this film, I probably wouldn't watch this that often, but I wouldn't mind seeing it again. So, let me know what you think about Space Jam: A New Legacy. Do you like it like I do? Do you find enjoyment in it? Or do you agree with the critics and think it's just one big commercial? Again, it is, but it embraced it in a very charming and fun way. So anyways, guys, I will see you on the next episode. Take care. And I will be uploading more, I promise.